The Global Bankruptcy, Reclaiming Your Sovereign Credit and the Truth of the Straw Man. How the National Bankruptcy pledged your future labor as collateral. Understanding the exemption account in your 9-digit IN. The corporate fiction, managing the liabilities of your all-cap straw man. Why bank loans are fraudulent uses of your own personal credit. The United States has declared bankruptcy and pledged its citizens as collateral against the national debt. During this process, the government confiscated all gold, which eliminated the traditional means of payment. To compensate for this, the government assumed the legal responsibility to provide a new way for individuals to discharge debts through an exemption. This exemption is essentially your personal credit. At birth, your value to society is calculated using actuarial tables, and bonds are created in your name, currently valued between $1 million and $2 million. These bonds are collateralized by your birth certificate, which functions as a negotiable instrument. This credit is rightfully yours and is identified by your Social Security number without dashes, serving as your exemption identification number, EIN. To prevent you from accessing this credit, the state created a corporate fiction known as the straw man, identified by your name in all capital letters. This entity is a debtor and a subset of the bankrupt government. While you are not the straw man, you often unknowingly act as the trustee and surety for this fiction, becoming liable for its debts. To protect yourself, you must establish a security agreement between your living self and the fiction. Once you lay claim to this value as a creditor, no court, agency, or attorney can transact business with the straw man without your express consent. Judges are aware that they require your permission to prosecute the straw man because it is your property. This is why legal documents always use all capital letters to address the corporate fiction rather than the living person. The financial system is further complicated by the use of Federal Reserve notes, which are private, copyrighted scrip. This currency can only enter the public domain through chartered banks or pass-through accounts like your Social Security account. In this debt-based system, all value is created through lending, yet since there is no real money, what is actually being lent is credit. Only living souls have the inherent ability to create this credit. When you sign a promissory note for a loan, the bank is actually drawing on your own credit. They lead you to believe they are lending their assets, but they are simply using your signature to create a draw on your exemption. Because banks do not disclose that they are using your credit to fund your own loans, these contracts, including mortgages and car loans, are technically fraudulent. The bank treats your promissory note as a check, endorsing it and depositing it as an asset on their books while recording a liability owed to you. They never reveal this internal accounting to the borrower. Despite the government's efforts to hide these facts, a growing community is learning to lawfully access this unlimited credit to settle commercial affairs. While the authorities do not cooperate, the legal obligation for the state to provide a means of payment remains in effect. In summary, every obligation in this system is discharged rather than paid, using credit as the underlying value. This credit was established to replace the gold confiscated by the government under House Joint Resolution 192. For decades, the corporate world has structured society so that you act as a slave and surety for a debtor fiction. This ultimate deception has caused many to forget their true status as creditors, allowing the government to pillage personal credit for its own uses. Understanding this fraud is the first step in moving from a state of enslaved amnesia to exercising your rights as a secured party.